Hello dear friends, this is Wolfgang with Tools for Ascension, and this video is about the effects of a good soul search. I call it, it's a guided meditation, maybe with some chi work, where I hold a space, and the benefits that it has, the effects that it has on a person. This is not to advertise what I do. This is to inspire other healers to follow suit and follow these paths for themselves, and just maybe to open your mind. The following person was a very qualified person to work with. He has been meditating, practicing martial arts, as well as practicing Qigong for over a decade. And so it was, fun to work with somebody who already has some experience, has performed austerity, and it was a wonderful experience. And so here we want to share with the public. Namaste. You came in with a lot of questions about some issues. A lot of issues. What were some of those issues, please?
I found some clarity, yes. We delved into the roots of these issues on a deeper level than what was perceived, and there's some peace that can be found just when you know the truth behind something. So knowing the roots and the causes to some of these questions, it's easier to put them at ease and to just either let go or just to know, okay, we'll get through this.
Yeah, you got quite some information. So what do you think is the importance of a guided meditation in getting in touch with your higher faculties?
I think that the soul and the person heals themselves if they know the right direction, and turning within helps to fine-tune what you need to do to yourself. So I personally am a proponent to hypnosis and soul searching to the higher self. It may not be for everybody. That just depends on their own journey. But for me, I believe it's the best form of healing, therapy, stress relief, just you name it. It's a good. It can do anything. You just need to go in the right direction through it. I believe it's the best way to go.
Well, I do not want you to divulge any personal information, but could you tell the people what kind of points we covered in principle?
Well, we started talking about the fine tunings of energy, just how basically everything can be seen in one form or another, such as all forms of disease can be stemmed from a energetic point of being, some part. How the energy is influenced, it ripples into the physical, which can be carried on genetically or through special attachments, so to say, through energetic bonds. So this could entail, we talked about relationship issues, close social ties such as parents and uncles, clans, people, connections in regions. We talked about past lives, influences of interactions in those past lives, how they can carry over through curses, hexes, past life intentions such as vows carry through, how to differentiate and find out if those are connected in any way to present day circumstances. We talked about karma, fulfilling or creating, and how that carries over, how that can be tied, how it could be influenced through people having to live through someone else's experience of collecting or repaying that karma. We touched on aspects of white tantra, about how to properly use intent and focus for results, for spreading love, or to find outlets for, I guess I could call it problem solving. Like if you need to work on this issue, this is where you focus the energy through this use of heaven and earth, which is again a form of the white tantra, through the visualization. So we practice different methods of this various form of using heaven and earth. We use designated targets, so to say, to send out the energy and to feel what happens, such as the interaction, if it was a living object, if it had a consciousness, or versus an energy center. What do you feel? How do you perceive what you're feeling? How does the energy reflect and bounce back? How does it correspond? And we touched about how to take that method and to, I guess you could say, strengthen it by your breath and your smile. How do you fine tune that energy that you're sending, which was really a lot of fun. It very, very effective at giving you perceptions to things that you may not have known before. So we toyed around with that throughout the night, just various things, and different sensations were interesting.
You went through a soul search now, or 2 soul searches actually, and what are your strongest impressions from this?
That I found more about myself than I realized existed. The connection, the emotions, both bottled up and brought in from experiencing new things, feeling new things, opening up my awareness. It was all quite powerful. Everything is almost of a new realization. The things that you overlook become more heightened. Little things have more meaning just from this opening in the session. So it amplified everything. It's really hard to explain this soon after it's been done, because you still have to digest a lot that you don't know has happened exactly on a smaller level, on a subtler level. So I'm still in that point of digesting and picking up little tidbits of, oh, I didn't know that, or that happened. So
throughout the session, what kind of transformations did you experience?
The most noticeable was going from like a heavy, clogged feeling, a very compact, dense feeling, to just being almost weightless. Free-flowing feeling, kind of like the wind when it's flying through an area. Just lightness, carefree, contempt, just being, just a good feeling of being back in my own skin is a good way to put it, I think.
So what is the difference in your heart chakra levels that you experience? Progression maybe between those 2 sessions?
The first was a greater opening than what I had coming in, of course. So the sessions that we worked through really opened it more, almost like it stretched it out wider than it was functioning at. The work that we did through heaven and earth seemed to really open that even more, almost like weightlifting for my heart. It really gave it a workout. So after the first session, it felt great. And as time went on, I could feel what I had referred to as the sunburn, the feeling of a burning sensation as the aftermath of the session. It started to come in. So waking up the next day to start the second session, it was still there. And it's like working out a sore muscle after you've had a hard workout the day before. It's really sore, but once you start pushing past that, you find that it works easier because it's loosened up again. So the second session helped me step into that, right back to where we were yesterday, and to keep going through it. So the heart definitely got an opening through the session. The chakra got expanded, and I sensed more power and perception and just energy through this session than I have through probably any other healing session I've gone through. I don't know if that's because of the differences in how you help compared to other things, such as working with bowls and stones and such, or if it's because the perception I have has changed. It could be both, but there's a greater difference now, is a definite that I can tell.
You met a lot of people on the other side. Could you please tell us about this?
It was like being very aware of being watched. There were audiences on all sides, all aspects. Some just by the way they felt. Some were big, some were small, some were wired, some were more at ease. But throughout everything, there's love. Feelings of safe. Don't worry, just be yourself. Just an opening of ease. So when each one came through, the more you were at ease, the more you could feel the difference in the entity that was presenting themselves. You could feel the difference, but to put it in words, it's very hard to explain the difference between, say, we saw spirit totems. To see a fox versus seeing a tribe of people. Huge subtle differences, but at the same time, since you're in this relaxing ease, it's as easy as watching TV. So the same way watching TV, you can see an army and see all the people and see the grandness of how much there is versus one image. You can kind of get a feel of what that is in comparison. So it's easy to take in, but it's hard to explain. But there are differences, but at the same time it's the same. Watching TV, everything's the same on that screen, but versus what's in the TV. So your awareness is perceiving all of this, but at the same time it's not flooded by anything. So when people would come in on their own, they would be representative of their own energy. And you could tell a difference, even though everything else was still in the background. So it's real hard to explain.
It's okay. Just tell us what type of people you met. For instance, you met your inner child in the religious list.
Yeah, we started with the inner child, which was a little live wire. To me, little, but very bright. We went to the higher self, which was very almost regal, commanding, very presentable. Like if you were to see a group of people, this would be the one in charge. It was very, here I am. We went to the male and the female aspects. Big contrast there. Female, very soft and loving, very almost small, but full of love, versus the male aspect, which was like a juggernaut. Big, huge, here I am, don't mess with me, I'll make you regret it, I'll take care of you, you can count on me for everything. Harsh, very abrupt personality. Again, we went through the animal totems, which were 3 different aspects for me. One was the hawk, second was a fox, third was a toad. After that, we talked to ancestors, we talked to racial, genetic, family ties. For me, that was the Cherokee and descendants through them. We talked to some angels, and we had the denizens of the forest, the Fae, come through. We were by a running creek during this the whole time, so we asked for those of the area to come in and to help us. The devic spirits of the trees and the water and the land. They came in and we charged the area, and it stayed charged until the next day. And it'll be there for a good while, I'm sure, but it was definitely there for us. We just had a whole slew of companions and friends and helpers. Just lots of people.
So you kind of learned that you're not alone.
You can be in the deepest part of the forest and still not be alone. Very, very much aware there were people here.
You also learned something about ley line or energy line healing?
Well, the ley line that I have back home with me is congested. It's not blocked, but it's very restricted in its flow. So I was shown from a friend a technique that seems to have been his preferred method to do things. He showed me that he went out to the area, and that this area of mine particularly has sick vegetation, trees and foliage that just aren't flowing with the energy because it's stagnant. So they have a sickness that keeps them almost asleep. They're just not flowing. They're not alive. So after clearing the area for this ritual, saging and finding himself in sacred space, creating a connection by prayer for himself, and then to emit his energy into the surrounding area slowly through the crown and the root into the trees, and to flow into them and to feel the connection with the tree, to join in essence. The tree is still the tree and he is still himself, but at the same time he is this tree because he is pure energy and the tree is filled with this pure energy. So the two become one, and the energy disperses to the next tree or bush or whatever's next, and it radiates out evenly to the area. So in essence he was re-waking up the life there. He was the alarm clock to bring them out of their sleep, showing them what it was to once again feel alive with this energy through his connection as a conduit, emanating out. And at this point, when they're all awake, they all join in the same voice. The energy is the same. So what he did was he brought this all in, compacted it kind of like a bullet, like encased it in, and then with his intent to break open this congestion, kind of funnel it up and shout it out using his voice as the vibration, like a frequency. It was high. It wasn't a high pitch, but it was loud, but it was full, like a full just announcement, like a big ringing bell, almost, so to say, like announcing, like, here it is, this is what needs to be. But it's projecting out this energy, so it's taking everything and using him as a funnel to project it into a force, and with the voice creating energy with the vibration of the shout combined together, it sends out this wave. And I saw that the funnel broke open like a dam opening up, and then everything behind it that had been blocked in was just flowing. And it was a main artery through my hometown, where just as a river, when it slows down its water flow, creeks start to dry up that are connected to it. Well, when this was opened, the flow started going through, and it started spreading through these once dried smaller channels. And they were connecting to slightly larger energy lines. And the whole area just started to be reflooded with this energy. It was flowing. It wasn't particularly different in the feel of the land, but the fact that just as a field doesn't change overnight by irrigation, it now has the ability to start growing with time if the right things are presented in this area now, since the energy is now there to fuel what's going on. So that's what I saw through that instance. And then I saw some other things that need to be addressed later on, such as the river. So,
is there anything that you will take home from these experiences? Something that you will incorporate into your daily life now?
Just being out here for a little bit over a day and a half with you, I've learned so much more than I could in a lot of books. A lot of people that I've met that are actively working in these fields don't have the knowledge in so various of a field as you do. So I've learned not just what I came here to learn about myself, but through all these different areas greatly. And it's a lot to take in. It's going to take a while to even process that on top of the 2 sessions that we did. But I've learned more than I ever expected, and I'm very thankful and forever grateful for what I've learned. It was amazing.
Anything else that you would like to share with the people that are seeing this?
That it is an act of self-love to come do something like this. To really want to either heal yourself or to know about yourself is an act of love, because you're learning about who you truly are, and deep down, energy and source is love. So you're creating more love to come into your life, whether you're here to figure something out or to better yourself. So everything is for your betterment to go on these healing sessions, these vision quests. So I definitely would recommend anybody to do this, and to just not have any expectations. Don't go in thinking I'll be healed of this, or I'll understand this, or I want to do this, now I'll know how to do it. Anything like that, you're creating a block to something that most likely will come along that you had no idea you were looking for, which will make you even happier. And that's what it's all about. It's about finding personal happiness through content, through just being presented with what you need. So don't have a limitation on coming to it thinking that you're gonna dictate how it goes, what happens, and what's going to be presented to you. Just know that the best thing will be there for you.